Good morning. Hey, I'm back. Do you remember my name? Hey, it's been a long time. In fact, the last one I did was in December. But in case you don't remember, I'm Faith, and this is Stitching at the Barn. But thank you for stopping by for a visit. And thank you to my new subscribers and the ones that keep returning back to see me. And I hope today I'll share something that will inspire you. And if you haven't done so, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and the like button and just sit back, get something to drink, and enjoy. I love to share what I'm doing in my stitching. It makes everybody around me hyperventilate that I have so many projects going at one time. And when I ask my husband to help me upload or download whatever it is that he does so I can get ready to do another one, it's like, why? But he just doesn't understand. But anyways, I love to do my stitching and make new friends. So it has been a long time, quite a minute since I talked to you last. So let me see, let me back up. I think the last one I did with you was December 7th or 17th, somewhere's in there. I can't remember. I don't have my paper here that tells me. But anyways, that doesn't matter. It's been a while. Anyways, we had Christmas, which was wonderful. Um, both of my boys and my daughter-in-law, they were here. We had a wonderful time. And then January the 4th, I think it was, we left and we spent all of January in India working with children there and working in a school. And we returned home on February the 4th, I believe it was. And we had a wonderful time, but I was very, very tired when I got home. It took a while for the jet lag, for me to get over the jet lag. And then I had a major cold through it all, which took a while for me to get over. Then I had all my Christmas decorations to take down and all my nativity sets to put away. So it just kind of ended up taking a while. I don't regret any of my time that we had in India, but I miss all my little babies, my little friends that I made over there, all the cuddles and the snugs and the loves that I had. But I do miss them, but it's good to be home and getting back into a routine. It really took me most of February to get back into a routine again. And so I started at the 1st of March. Okay, I've got to get a video. I've got to get a video. And it really took me a while. Because then, actually, let me back up again. After we were home about a week and a half, we had this planned for a long time. Some gentlemen came and they started in on my bathroom, my bedroom, my front door, and a shelf in my living room. They're putting a walk-in shower and enlarging my closet in my bedroom, which I love. They're done with my closet. So when I'm done with my video today, I'm going to go in and work on hanging up some more of my clothes. And they've got my shelf in my living room done. Next week, they'll finish my shower. And so I'm really excited. So I had that to contend with, and I knew making a video while they were in here pounding and drilling and doing all their noise would not be conducive to a video. So that was another reason that I did not make a video last week. I had started on doing it all the last 2 weeks, and I said, no, I cannot do it. So anyways, while we were in India, every evening before bed, about 30 to 40 minutes, I said, okay, this is my time. And I would sit down and I would do some stitching. I got a feeling I'm going to need a Kleenex here. But anyways, so while I was there, I would watch some floss tubes, but I never wrote down who I watched or what. They were just my normal ones that I would watch. And I'm looking for a Kleenex. Excuse me. Anyways, so I would just watch some, and I didn't write down any specific ones that I watched. So once this video is up and everything, I will start putting a check mark beside the ones that I watch. But I tried to watch ones that I could rather. I would sit and I would watch some while I worked. And so that's what I would do. All right. Now, let's get to stitching and see what I did. All right. First of all, while I was in India, I got some finishes. 2 of them I don't have with me because, let's see, what day was it? Thursday, I believe it was. Thursday, I took probably about 7 pieces to the lady that does my finishes for me, and 2 of them are with her, which was my winter ABC. I finished that while I was in India, which I didn't have a whole lot to do, but I did finish it. And my Christmas, it's a Christmas one. It's called All the Trimmings. So those 2 I don't have. I'll show you those when I get them back. But then I also finished, and I can't remember if I had finished this before, but this one is finished. Oh, upside down. I finished this one, and I'm going to make this one into a door pull. So this one I'm going to have a friend is going to help me, but I'm going to do this one myself. Okay, so that one is finished also. So I will do that one myself. All right. Okay. Now I started in my book from the things that I finished or worked on, January 1. Some of these I did on the airplane, some while I was over there. Yes, I took quite a few with me, about 8 or 9 with me, and I would work on them over there, 2 days apiece, just like I did. I was cautious of what I had with me on the airplane because I knew I couldn't work on anything on the airplane. But anyways, this is what I have. So you have to remember when I show you these, I worked on them more than once, and some I've worked on while I was in India, and then I worked on them again while I've been here at home. So this is not, I can't say exactly what I did. But anyways, here we go. Here's my WIP parade for January, February, and up to March 6th. Here we go. Hang on. Buckle in. The first one I'm going to show you is Life is a Garden. I think this was the last one I worked on right before we left. And I can fold that in. Here is where I'm at. I think the last time I worked on the bee skep and some of the flowers, I can't remember that far back what I worked on, but this is where I'm at. I'm trying to get page 1 completed. So that is where I am on that one. I'll be working on that one again before too many days coming up. All right, the next one, I know I worked on this one a little bit. It's called Let's Breeze into Autumn. Just a lot of back stitching and that type of stuff on this one. So I've got a feeling it might go a little bit quick. Whoop. And that's all I have on that one. And I'm thinking I worked on that maybe in the airport a little bit. One of the airports. I can't remember. So, and this one I'm going to be working on today. That one's going to be with mine. I'm going to work on that one today. That one has come up. Okay. This one is going to be, after I get my cottage done, this one's going to be my next Sunday stitch. My Stitchy Stars. And it's the last one I have in the, out of the 4 seasons. And this is the spring one. And that's all I have on it. So it's going to be my next Sunday stitch. So I can get it completed. Really, it's not that hard to do, and it doesn't take that long once you're really at it. So it's going to be my next Sunday stitch on my list of to-dos. So that is going to be. Now, here is my Sunday stitch. I think tomorrow, every time I think too hard, I blow it. But here's my November cottage, and this is the last cottage that I have to do, and all of my cottages will be complete. So, here it is. All I have left is to finish my little people, and then put another row of white, and then do my leaves like that are up here at the top, put them at the bottom. So I'm hoping that I can get that done tomorrow for my Sunday stitch. I have to put eyes on. That's one thing I have to do. And I think I have everything done. There's a little bit right here I see I need to finish. But I think I have everything done from here up, except for eyes where needed. And I will put those in. That's the last thing I do. So, that one is almost complete. And winter welcome. I've come a long way on this one. And I think I may be wrong on this one. Like I said, my thinking sometimes is not right. After Stitchy Stars, I think this might be, or I've got this listed as one of my Sunday stitches. I'm not sure what order I have them in. But this is going to be one of my Sunday stitches if it's not done before I have it listed. I put down 5 Sunday stitches in an order, and this was in my rotation. I can't remember, but that's where it is. So that's coming along. I can't wait to get that one done. I love it. All right. And let me get a drink of coffee. This is another one that will be a Sunday stitch if it's not done before its number comes up as a Sunday stitch. Is my spring. And if it gets done before its number comes up, I'll just put something else in there. Okay, I have a loose thread here. Well, now I really have a loose thread. Let me put my needle up here so I don't lose it. I have just about finished the letter I. Here is where I'm at. Well, S-P-R-I. I know I'm doing, there's a little bird or what is that? Something right up here. I'm finishing that. And then I think I've got everything done on the letter I. I have to put 2 flowers over here. And then I think I've got this one done. And I'll be ready for the letter N. So like I said, before it comes up in a Sunday stitch, it may be done. And the next one I'm going to do in this series is winter. That'll be the next one I do. So, why winter? I don't know. That's the one I've got. I think my son bought me spring. So I'm not sure why I chose winter. But, so, that's what I have. All right, now let's see. Okay, this one, in fact, I worked on this one last night even. It's called Kitchen Sweet Kitchen. I only have one in my kitchen right now, and so I'm making a couple of them that I can alternate, like maybe every other month or whatever. So that's what that one is, and this is where I'm at. Letter R, and I've been, like I'll do a color or something down here, and then I've been going and back stitching, and I'm on the quilt back stitching. So that's what I've been doing there. So I go down here and then I go back up here. I got all of that back stitched, so I'm on the quilt. So that's where I'm at on that one. The rest of these I have worked on since, I want to say since about the middle of February, or since I've been home. I know since I've been home, I've worked on these quite a bit. Okay, or at least one time. Let me put it that way, at least one time. Next one, shaker sampler. I like these older ones. I really do. My shaker sampler. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. So I'm still up there in the first box is where I'm at I'll be there for a little while yet. I'm positive, because that's where I'm at. It's taking shape, but that's where I'm at. So I still have quite a bit to do in that first box. There we go. All right. Let's see. This one was a new start for me. October, November, somewheres, I believe. I cannot remember exactly when it was a new start, but I love it. And I never was a sampler person. I'm in a across the pond Zoom, and there's some people on there that got me. Bad people, bad people. And I'm not into the big ones where it's all alphabet. I don't know, those are not, but for some reason, this one I just loved. I like the little samplers. And here's where I'm at so far on this one. So the pumpkin will be completely filled in. The pear, oh, down here, let's see, what is that? Oh, that's another pear. It's going to be completely filled in. And there's something right here, pineapple, I believe it is. It's going to be completely filled in. So when I first started it, dumb me, it just had the outline of a lot of this. And I thought, man, that's going to look weird, that cornucopia. It's going to be empty and not filled in. Well, then I sat and I was reading the paper directions, said, all that will be filled in with the same color of the whatever color it was, and the pumpkin will, and I said, oh, makes more sense now. It will look better. So it pays to read your directions. Words to the wise. So I went back and I started filling it all in. And it does look better. So, yes, it pays to read the directions. I'd show you on the pattern, but I can't. That would not be very nice of me. All right. Oh, here's my next one. This one will take a while yet for me to finish, but I am enjoying it. It's my auction one, and I am working over here in this part right here, going all the way down. Okay, I am on page 2, which is down here in this lower part. Okay, that's where I'm at. So I'm trying to go all the way down and then work my way over. So, and I will tell you, since I got my iPad and I'm got everything done on my iPad downloaded, it is going much smoother. When I was doing this part up here, I was marking it off on a paper pattern. That was so hard to do. Oh my goodness, that was hard. And about drove me loony. But now that I have it on an iPad, it is going much quicker. I use markup, in case anybody's wondering. And it is going much smoother, and I can get a lot more done in one session than I could before. I was always losing my spot, and so anyways, okay, next one. Autumn Avenue. It's by the Little Stitch Girl. I bought this at a retreat from her, and I love it. She's got several avenues, and I do want to get them all. But I want to get this one finished first. And this is where I'm at. The house is no joke. And I've got 2 more houses to go. So, but I really like it. One thing I noticed when I put my shelves up, my main reason for wanting those shelves was to put my nativities up there. That was the main reason for it, out in the living room. But I said, I can't leave them empty all year long. I'll put cross-stitching up there. And I've got my cross-stitching, well, it's a process right now, but I'm dividing it up into January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. You know, you got it. So I went out there. February, I didn't do a whole lot. But I got to looking at my February. I only had one thing for February. I said, whoa, I've got to work on that problem. Well, then I went to put up March and April. I only have 3 cross-stitch projects. I said, got to work on that problem. So I've got to get stitching. I've got a lot of stuff for fall. So I think I'm going to kind of calm down on the fall projects, finish what I've got, but I've got to stick in some more February, March, and April things. I've got to start, whoa, just a minute. I've got to start sticking in some things for those other months. Yep. I've got to start doing that. Okay, oh, here's my next challenge piece. My bowing. I started back here in the tail. That's where I'm at, right in here. Okay, and I learned a hard lesson. This is on 18 count, and I moved myself up to 16 count, and I thought I could try 18. I don't know if it's the material. I like the feel of this material. I really do. I don't know if it's the material or what, but I have been struggling, and I've realized this girl cannot, like, take a piece of thread, and if I have some left over, jump somewheres. Can't do it. I've got to stay in one area. If I'm working in this area, stay in that area. Work in this area, stay in that area. Don't try to jump around, because if I do, I mess it up. And stitching my mommy, I was trying to be like her. She will work here, and if she's got thread, she will jump over here and move around and do. I can't do that. I just can't do it. I got to stay in one area, especially on an 18 count. 14 and 16, I can move a little bit more, but not 18. Because I had been making so many mistakes. And this is another one. Since I got my markup program, that has helped. That has helped. So, that's been a big help. Okay, let's see. Next one. Oh, here he comes. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, dear. I just made a mess. Pardon me for a second. Mr. Ho-Ho lost his thread. Christmas patches. I've never been a big Santa Claus. Nothing against him. Never been a big Santa Claus stitcher. But this one I could not resist. I just love this one. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And here is where I'm at. I've got his face just about done. And I started on the on his backpack, his stocking back here that he has. But I love that one. I guess I'm just not into stitching the normal, everyday looking Santa Claus. I'm just not into those. But that one I just love. All right, we're almost done. We're getting closer and closer. Fall in the garden. See, here's another fall one. But when I see them, I can't resist them. That's my fall in the garden. And I am over here. And when I get to that house, it's going to be a whopper. But that's where I'm at. And there's where I'm at so far. So he's looking pretty good. So I'm working on the mushrooms down here at the bottom is what I was working on the last time. Down at the bottom before I moved. And then I want to start on the grass, whatever's at the bottom, and work my way over. Get page 1. The house is on page 2. So I'll get page 1 done, and then page 2 will be the doozy. But we'll see. Okay. Whoops. All right. Here's my next big one. It is my dollhouse. As far as stitching goes, I have page 1 done. And I'm working on page 2. And so I had went back and I had started trying to do some back stitching in page 1. And I just couldn't tell that I was doing anything. So I'm going to go back and do it again and I don't know if I'll take it out or leave it, but I'm going to go and do everything either in a dark brown or black and do all my back stitching that way. Because what it was calling for just wasn't showing up, and it wasn't making much sense to me. But if you notice, page 2, I've started on the stairs here, and I'm working up here. So I'm getting to where you can see some things. But so yes, I want to go back up here and do a lot of back stitching and get that done. So, but what back stitching I did, you can just barely see it. And I said, I'm not going to sit and back stitch all this when you can't even see it. So I think I'm going to go back and do it either in a dark brown or a black. And see if that makes it feel to me like it's worthwhile. So that's what I shall do. So that's where I'm at in my dollhouse. I like seeing the furniture in the dollhouse start showing up. That's what the back stitching does. It really makes things pop. I don't like doing back stitching, but it's makes it pop, and that's what I like about backstitching once you really get to it. Oh, I forgot to bring my cover page. I am so sorry. This one is a new one. And I did not bring my cover page. The first one is called Go Tell It on the Mountain. And the one I'm doing is the Go Tell It on the Mountain. And the second scene will be Over the Hills and Everywhere. And then it'll be back to Go Tell It on the Mountain. And that Jesus Christ is born. And I left my Go Tell It on the Mountain out somewheres. But this is where I'm at so far on Go Tell It on the Mountain. And that's the smoke that will go to a house that's down here. And this is going to be in a long strip, and I'm going to use it as a door pull. I've got to find that cover page. I think I know where it's at. So, yes. And I was going to look for it before I started this video, and I forgot to. So I'll have it for us the next time, I'm sure. So I am real excited about that. I love it. It's very, very simple. The Proper Stitcher, she has some beautiful things out. Hers are simple, but they are so beautiful. They're just so beautiful. I just really, really enjoy working on them. So I've got to remember to go find that cover photo. Okay. Let's see, 2 more. The next one is a new start, and I will work on that again here in a day or two. And this is another one. My son, he helps in my problem. It's called Liberty. And so that's one. And I don't have a lot on it, but I'll be working on it another day. And that is where I'm at on it. That's the beginning. This is the big flagpole, and that's part of the letter L. That'll be a little bit of the letter L. When I work on a piece, I like to do, I'll pull out the colors that are there, and then I'll do some of blue, some of the red, some of the black, and this calls for yellow, so I'll do some of the yellow, some of the green, whatever colors it calls for. I try to use a little bit of every color, and then I'll start over. I'm not where I use one color. I like to alternate and put a little bit of color of every kind in it. I do that with all my pieces, if I can, if they're within reach. If not, I won't. Okay, and the last one is one I worked on a couple days ago, and it's called Kitchen Sampler. And basically all I did on it the last time, besides putting the eggs in, doing the eggs, was I put in words. I put in Faith's Kitchen. I put in the word fruit. I put in, what is it? Dessert. Oh, home. It's going to be homemade. I put in the word home and the M for made. Coffee grinder, because that's what's going to go right over here. And I outlined all of this. It took a lot of time. So that's what I did a lot of, was just, and I back stitched the pie and the heart. So those things have to be done also. So that's what I did. So that's my last one to show you. Okay, for the month of February, I couldn't do a whole lot of everything else because I'd work for a while and then I'd sleep. And then I'd work a while and sleep. But my stitches for the month of February, I did put in 5,609 stitches. We will continue in March, just continue working on the pieces that I didn't show you. We'll continue working on them. And for the month of March, like I said, I didn't have very many things for February, but I'm going to start this one here in the month of March. So hopefully it'll be ready by February of next year. I'm going to be adding a couple more of these February things. So that's going to be one I'm going to start. And I don't know if I'm going to start this in March or April, but I want to do this one. I've had this one for a long time, and carrot cake. So I want to do that one. I don't know if I'll start that in March or in April. Just depends. When I get the mood to start it. But those are my next two starts. And then I've got a couple 4th of July pieces that I really want to get started too. Okay. Anyways, we'll see what the mood is. All right, let's keep going. I want to show you a few cards that I have working on. As you know, I like to send cards out to people. That's just something I really, really enjoy doing. These are not cards that I have just recently made. In the month of February, I just did I made Valentine cards. March and April, I'll make spring cards, but these are some that I've had for a little while. So here's one that I made for a children's birthday. That's one that I made. I'm going to try to slide these back in their envelope. Here's another children's card. That I made. And for a boy. I know there's girls into sports just as much as boys. But there's that one. Whoa. This one says happy birthday up at the top for a man. I really like that one. And this one for a man. And one thing I do, because where I make so many cards and I have so many different stamp sets and everything, I put on the back exactly what paper I use, everything I do, and it tells me, so I don't have to think about it the second time I do it. Here's one. That can be probably a female, but you know, whatever. And my last one is this one. It says, there is a calmness to a life lived in gratitude, a quiet joy. And that's my last one there that I'm show you. So those are my cards. Well, thank you for spending some time with me on my life, telling you why I've not been here. Hopefully it won't be as long for the next one. My projects. I didn't have any haul except to buy thread. That was my major haul. My cards. I hope that you will share my video with your friends and ask them to watch it. And the last thing for today, if you will want to stay around, is my reading. And if not, I hope you have a wonderful day. But our reading for today is called Strength from You. Before I was even conceived, you thought of me, the Lord of all creation. You spent time considering who I would be and what purpose I'd fulfill in your kingdom. The dreams of an earthly father for his unborn child pale in comparison to the detail with which you considered my life. Like the daughter of royalty or the son of unmatched genius, I wonder how I could ever live up to the version of me you designed. I'm weak, flawed, so very human. But it doesn't depend on me, does it? My strength is from you. My gifts, talents, passions, and purpose are all from you. Today, I offer you my faith that if you willed it, I can fulfill it. Only God can give us strength for all things. Hey, you have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful March, spring. I hope you're getting some rain because we're not, and we really need it. We really need it. My husband and our nephew are down getting the pipes and everything up to get the irrigation going because the fields really need rain. So if you would and are the type, please pray for rain because we really need it. So I hope I can get back to you within a month, but stay cool and keep stitching. Bye-bye.